Monday once again, everyone. Bryan Devore Realty Group, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, California Properties, your first Monday market moment of October and of the final quarter of the year. Year has gone by super fast. Today, we're going to answer the question, are short sales and foreclosures coming back? We saw a lot of those back during the mortgage meltdown in 08, 09, and the fallout after that. So lots of people think they're coming back with the market slowdown, but are they? We'll find out in just a moment. First, let's look at the most recent stats. Right now, 6,059 homes for sale. It's a decrease of 115 from last week, with a median list price of $920,000. Average days on market is 57. Pending sales also down, 2294, down 61 from last week. So not as many homes, not as, how do I say this? Fewer homes dropped off the pending mark than the active mark. Median list price, $872,000. Average days on market, 38. But months of inventory did go up, 3.22. Was about 3.12. So it jumped up just a little bit to 3.22 months of inventory. Here is the chart showing the total actives and total pendings. So you can see over the last few weeks, the total number of actives has gone down. And total number of pendings is kind of bouncing around. But here's what's interesting. Last week, we saw 827 homes come on the market, 159 more than the previous week. So we had so many more homes come on the market, but we have fewer homes total for sale. Well, some of them went pending, but I think also some of the homes that were on the market came off because sellers just kind of gave up, took them off the market. Median list price, $899,000. New pendings, 349, also a drop, in this case, a drop versus the increase in the number of active listings. Decrease in the number of pendings, 50 fewer than the week before. Median list price, $875,000. Average days on market, 32. New pendings listed within the last week, 16. Within the last 2 weeks, 97. So 5% of homes are still selling in about a week or less. 28% are selling in 2 weeks or less. Last week, we saw 393 homes close escrow, the exact same number as the week before. Median list price of those homes was $919,000, and the median sales price was $918,000. So both those numbers were higher than the week before. Average days on market, 33. Kind of a big drop of 4 days versus the ones that closed the week prior. San Marcos had the least expensive sale, $185,000. Carlsbad had the most expensive sale, $17 million home right on the coast. Beautiful home. Here's a chart showing new actives, new pendings, and new closed sales. We did not expect to see the huge spike in the number of homes that came on the market. Now, maybe it's because rates came down. So people who were feeling kind of locked into their interest rate and didn't want to sell, maybe are now selling, or people who are taking advantage of the slight increase in activity we've seen are putting their homes on the market. We'll have to see what next week holds. Number of pendings down, number of closed sales the same. And here's the chart showing median list price and median sales price. Bump up again, and what's also nice to see is the median sales price a little bit higher than the median sales list price. Stephen Thomas came out with his most recent reports on housing. You can see the active listing inventory climbing a little bit over the last week or two. It's about the same level as it was back in May, still lower than the peak. So we don't think we're going to go back up to the peak that we had a couple months ago. Still way more inventory than we had at the beginning of the year, more inventory than we've had in several of the years past. Here is the chart showing demand year over year, and demand is the number of homes that go into escrow in the last 30 days. And we're right around this. You can see that intersection of all those lines right there. Roughly the same amount of homes going into escrow in the last 30 days as the last few years. The blue line, 2023, was much lower. So we're higher than that, which is great. Hopefully, if rates keep coming down, we'll see demand go up. And the expected market time did go up a little bit because we did see that bump in inventory. And so expected market time is higher than it was. We hit a trough, kind of going back up. We'll have to see if it levels back out again as we head towards the end of the year. And here is the balance of what's on the market versus what are people looking for. We have about the same number of homes for sale as we do what people are looking for in that $0 to $750,000 quadrant. More demand than supply in the $750,000 to $1 million. as well as 1 million to 1.25. That's pretty balanced, 1.25 to 1.5 million, and then it gets more skewed towards more inventory than demand. You can see market time, how much higher, how much greater the number of days on market this year versus last year in all the categories. 2 million to 4 million, interestingly, only 3 more days on the market, the expected market time. Okay, are short sales and foreclosures coming back? This is from Stephen Thomas. Take a distressed snapshot of foreclosures and short sales in the county. The number of foreclosure listings and short sale listings, so total distressed listings, back before COVID was about 37 during the month of October 3rd. Look at where we are now, 36. So roughly the same. We saw a dip during COVID as we had just little supply and homes were flying off the shelf. So about the same number of distressed listings as we had 4 years ago, or I'm sorry, 6 years ago. But look at the sales. August 2009, foreclosure closed sales, short sale closed sales, total distressed sales, 1574. The 3-year average of 2017 to 2019 was 34. Look where we are now, 6. Only 6 in the last couple of weeks. Total number of sales of distressed versus short sales and foreclosure. So they're not coming back. The mix of homes right now, the amount of equity that people have, the number of people who are equity rich, which means they own at least 50% outright, the number of people who own their homes completely free and clear, much higher than it was back in the mortgage meltdown. So they're not coming back anytime soon, or maybe even forever. That's it for this week's Monday Market Moment. If you have any questions about this information, feel free to give me a call. Any opinions or thoughts, feel free to reach out. I'd love to hear them. We should have the Home Dex report next week to talk about, which will be interesting to see what September sales were looking like. That's it for this week's Monday Market Moment. Hope you have a great day, a great week. Look forward to seeing you next Monday.